Hi, my name is Aaron Ugba, and I am a senior graduate of 2026 at Christian High. I play baseball, and I love sports, and I love video games. But also, I want to talk about how I'm a follower of Christ and how that's really impacted my life. I was always in church. I was always there. I was always prevalent, and even to the fact where I would lay my hands and pray for people. But one defining point of my childhood was that I had ADHD. And this was a real big hindrance that the devil tried to use because it would help me not focus, help me get in trouble, help me make decisions based off impulse. And overall, at my school, up until first grade, I was making these really bad decisions, and they basically tried to write me off. Fast forward to the next year, I moved to the school I'm attending now since second grade. What I've learned there is I've dived into the Bible, I've dived into what it means to be a Christian and truly follow God. Fast forward to high school. In high school, I was living the best time of my life that I thought I was, and I was living for myself and for my flesh. But in reality, I was rejecting God's way and not choosing to live for Him. Up until 11th grade, where I went to Hume. Now, I had went to Hume many times before that, but it was always just a mountaintop experience where I would be at the mountain, leave it there, and come back down and act how I wanted to. 11th grade really started to shift things. I took the mountaintop experience a little bit into my life, but what really helped me was my final and last senior year of Hume, where I truly saw how a spiritually led life would be, as well as a spiritually led community. And this really helped when I would come back and go to regular everyday life, and I could really transport that from the mountaintop to my everyday home. Now, let's dive into my experience. What I really saw was God filling my cup with the Holy Spirit and what that looked like, whether it was with friends, whether it was with conviction, as in unworthiness, and how God showed me through His Son's death, I was made worthy, that nothing I could ever do could make me worthy. And this really helped me build a firm foundation on what it looked like to live for Christ. Now, ever since that experience, now that I said I had taken it down from the mountaintop to everyday life, I've seen a 180 in my life. I've seen joy, peace, and kindness, every fruit be bared in my life. And this is just a real testament to how good God is. But I really want to say how I started diving into worship, how I started diving into my calling as a pastor that I've been called to now, and how God has just really revealed this to me through a spiritually led life. And prior to me being called, what happened was I was living for God, but I wasn't really living for God. And my mom started to say, hey, let's do a fast, and suggested the idea to me. So I said, why not? I mean, it could only get me closer to God. So I started to really fast and really meditate on the word and really meditate into what the meaning of the word is. And what I really found was that I shouldn't just be halfway in, because that's not a way to live. I should be all the way in for God. And through that realization, God had made me realize that I was called to be something greater, how God was preparing me my whole entire life, how He's made my natural attraction and all these other gifts that He's given me to be towards His will. Now, as I had received this call, I didn't really know what to do, honestly, to be honest with you. I had this real big internal and spiritual struggle of, should I heed this calling? Is it just a feeling? Or is it me? Is God making a mistake? Am I good enough? And I really believe that He has equipped me with the spiritual and physical gifts to be a pastor and to be a shepherd to His people. Because I remember the day was January 8th, 2026. And I remember I'm driving home from the gym, and I'm driving, just coming from a good lift with my friend, hanging out and whatnot. And I'm listening to worship music on the Holy Spirit, and I just feel this voice just tell me, Aaron, I want you to lead my people. And I at first thought, hey, that's just my internal myself, maybe, I don't know. And then I kept going on, and almost as soon as I got home, I just heard Him say again, Aaron, I want you to shepherd my people. And that's when I knew it had to be from the Lord. Now, as a part of leaning into my calling, that's where the Barnabas Fund comes in. I see the Barnabas Fund as something way more than just some money. What I see it as is accountability and me being a spiritual guide and friend to all that I have through certain privileges that I gain with the Barnabas Fund, whether that is God-given money, God-given opportunities to be a light or not. Never know what God has in store for you, and I feel like that's what kind of makes it fun to like lean into God and give him all your fears and anxieties, because you never know what he's going to do and how big he's going to show out for you.